You can hear it. We're back up and running. We're back to normal. Everything is firing on all cylinders here today on the pod. It is the show you've been looking for, waiting for all week. It's What's Up Big Rapids, that one show that's made just for y'all. Just for the residents of this gorgeous area of northern Michigan that we call home. Mm-hmm. It is What's Up Big Rapids. I'm your host, Chris Jane.
And I'm Pat Brooks.
And before we even get into it, we just want you to know that no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, no matter what you look like or what you've done, you're a loved and valuable member of this community, and we're going to do our best not to waste even a moment of this precious thing we call life.
That's right. Right. And just like every week, this is the best time not to waste time. Hit that like button. Hit the comment button. Leave something there. Tell us what's going on in your neighborhood. Share with a friend. Tell a friend. We love you all. Thank you very much.
We appreciate you.
How you doing?
I'm doing very, very well, my man.
Yeah.
It's been a productive week. We're getting this crazy late season boom of work.
Yeah.
Normally, this is the time of year when real estate agents just go on vacation, but this year, man, I'm working every day. Yeah. Working hard.
You think maybe it's slow at the beginning of the season, pushed the seasons a little bit? I felt like it was slower in January, February this year.
All we can do is hope that that's the case, my man. But hey, you and I are doing a deal together.
We are.
We're managing
our first deal together.
That's right. I was selling a rental type property. Pat has people that are always looking for rental type properties. So hey, one hand washes the other. It's going to be fun.
Yep. Worked out. I think everybody's happy.
I hope so. We'll see. Great weekend, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that you got to go to a wedding and do some other fun stuff, get dressed up, which is funny because I get to officiate a wedding this weekend. We'll talk about that. Don't let me forget about that. But Siobhan has been really into this country singer named Max McKnown. He's a really good songwriter. I don't know if he writes the songs or not, but the songs are really well written.
I know it was one song.
Like Brown Eyes or Bright Eyes.
That's one, but the lot more free.
Yes.
That's the one I've heard probably a million times.
Good stuff.
Great song.
Anyway, he was coming through Grand Rapids, and we sort of had the feeling like that if you didn't catch him this time, next time he'll be
a Van Andel.
Yeah, it'll be in an arena. It won't be as much fun.
You can't high five him.
That's right. So we got really good tickets. So we had early access, and we went with some friends.
Okay.
And oh my gosh, we had a time, man. We were
awesome.
Singing and dancing.
Where was it again?
At the intersection.
Yeah.
It's
a decent little venue for
great venue.
Small.
Great venue.
More.
I love it there, man.
Personal feel, for sure.
I love all of their rooms. You know what I mean? They got 3 different spaces for music there if you haven't been. And I like them all. You know what I mean? All different levels of, either intimacy or whatever. Yeah, that was Saturday night.
Very cool.
And then Sunday, we had church and then back to rehearsals for Hand of Giants. What about you, man? How was the wedding?
It was good. Did
you catch the bouquet?
I did not. I don't go out there for those things anymore. But it's an extended child of ours. It's the oldest, his best friend. He was best man.
That's
and
fantastic.
So he kind of stayed with us during COVID and became one of the kids, and he's been like that since. And so,
which one? What's his first name?
His name's Cole.
Cole.
Yep, Cole. Very very good kid.
Good kid.
And it was a beautiful event. It was down in Comstock Park at a church, Catholic church service, and then we went to Coral for a non-Catholic reception, which is...
How about that?
Yeah, it was good food and
speaking
party,
of like Catholic,
and
non-Catholic, the whole thing.
Danced.
So I get to officiate a wedding this weekend, and I love to do that. I haven't gotten to do that many of them. Some of you guys know I pastored. I was a pastor for a couple of years, but during that time, nobody got buried or married. I was very lucky. It was very, I was able to sort of keep things. I kept everybody intact, right? But since then, I've gotten the opportunity to officiate some weddings, and it is super fun. Well, so I agreed months ago to do this for a friend. It's the son of a friend.
Yep.
And I said, "Oh, no problem. I'm happy to do that." It's right outside of town at 4 Green Fields, which is fun. Yeah. Great spot. And I thought, fall wedding and a bunch of friends, come on.
Right.
Who doesn't want to be involved in something that pure-hearted, you know what I mean? That wholesome. And I've done this before a couple times now, and so I have like a pretty good idea of like how to do it, script.
They got you doing something funny?
A script. Well, so I have my little phone call with them, right? You always want, you have a chat with the bride and groom, kind of find out how they're feeling, what are they looking for, what would they like. And their only real instruction was that it be non-religious.
Okay.
And my gut reaction was like, oh yeah, no problem. I mean, hey, whatever, you know.
Whatever.
I want to
Your
do.
day.
It's your day. I want to do this for you.
Sure.
And then I looked from an opening prayer to a scripture reading to a story from the Bible. And my whole wedding script is not only is it religious, it is super Judeo-Christian.
I had an older
that's
friend
what I am.
just get married 3 weeks ago by Gandalf.
Oh,
Guy wore a wizard beard and hat and everything.
did
So
he speak?
that's not
like
religious, I'm sure.
like
I have no idea. I did not
Old
go to the wedding. I was
English?
just seeing some photos and I thought, look at that.
this bride shall not pass?
Yeah, something along those lines. But yeah, so I mean, you can do something creative.
Well, you know what? I so thankfully we live in an age where
have them come on the pod. Let's get married.
we live in an age of generative AI, and it didn't take me that long to get some ideas, and within a day or so I had a pretty decent little script here. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. I haven't, like I said, I haven't done it before, so knock on wood it goes well.
Yeah.
But
and that's Saturday.
That's going to be Saturday.
Saturday.
So Saturday morning, me and this guy are running in the Res Run
And that guy.
5K. Oh, all three of us are doing it.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
three?
yeah.
Dom, are you running the 5K or
Yeah,
10K?
I'm doing the 5.
I looked at how many people were doing the half versus the 10 versus the 5, and it's pretty slim pickings on the half marathon runners. You know what I mean? There's going to be a few diehards out there,
takes
but,
a good
but look,
person
there's
to
still
run
time.
half
There's still time to
marathon
sign up. Do you by any chance have that?
I do.
Let's throw it up now. I know we're a little
There
ahead.
still is time.
We're a little ahead of where we normally would throw this information in, but I signed up. Did you sign up?
Yeah.
He still hasn't signed up. I'm telling you, you can only sign
Today.
up until midnight Friday.
Yep.
Okay, so not that they wouldn't let you maybe show up and do a donation and run on Saturday, but this is happening. Actually, I was sure this was going to be out at the pavilion out there at North End Riverside Park, but I feel like that's not right. It's actually at
Hemlock.
It's at Hemlock Park.
Yeah.
Okay, so 8 a.m. Actually, 7 a.m. is when the half marathon starts this Saturday. 7:30 for the 10K, 8 a.m. for the 5K, which is what Pat and Dom and I are all going to do.
Open to all ages and fitness levels.
That's
Run,
right. You can
walk. Do
That's
whatever.
right. And the proceeds go towards Res Life. They are as quickly as they can trying to fund a building expansion program. So they're run out of room, so they're coming up with creative ways for us all to help get involved. So if you want to help, come on down. It'll be fun. Pat and I will be down there sweating. Pat ran 1 mile this morning. Mm-hmm. I've been doing a little bit of rowing, but honestly,
I ran a
not
5K
nearly
last
enough.
week too.
Oh,
just
yeah.
to kind
Good
of
for you, buddy.
feel it out. I was by myself at the gym.
Well, good. I think
ran
we
one,
should just go out there and have fun.
Yeah, no, it'll be
Let's go
good.
out there, have fun.
I think the
encourage
kids are coming
everybody.
out. We'll have. Yeah, I'm gonna race Dom.
Well, okay, so we got that in the morning. So that's Saturday, first thing. I'm going to knock that out. And then I'm going to go do the wedding.
Yep.
And then Bud and I, High Strung Steel, has a gig that night at like a family festival out in the White Cloud area. I have not played it before. Bud set it up, but it's going to be fun. We're going to go out there and play about we're going to play about an hour's worth of music out there. So fun weekend, my man.
I'm hopefully prepping for cupboards.
I was going to say, do you have a kitchen yet?
I do not have a kitchen yet. I should have a bathroom by the end of the day, or end of the day tomorrow, and a shower and all that would be great. But yeah, no, I'll be working on the house all weekend, unfortunately. But no, I did want to let everybody know that Murph's is back open.
Heyo.
Hit me up. You need sneakers? I got them. I got lots of them. Let me know your size. I will go find them for you if you're looking for a specific pair.
Are you doing it more like by
Online.
appointment?
By appointment. But hit me up online. I don't have the office space, although we do have office space. So if you're looking for an office space, hit me up. We're downtown, across from Schuberg's.
Maybe you were taking advantage of some of that new space that you guys have
I
got
was,
opened
but
up.
also, no.
It's a lot of work,
It
right?
is. It is. Retail is tough.
If you
gotta
guys
be there
don't remember or don't know, Pat has this really cool side business that is a sneaker brand
Resale.
So,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
resale and sneaker culture brand called Murph's, and it's got its own merch and its own vibe. And he is a sneakerhead, so he buys and resells. He just has an eye for good deals, and so if you're into that culture, I mean, you guys know I mostly
Jordans
just
and dunks and
if you see me around town, you know I
anything.
pretty much only wear Vans, slip-ons.
There have been some fancy Vans coming out
Because I'm
recently,
like
too.
40, I'm in my 40s, and that's the ironic hip thing to do. No, it's because I'm lazy and I just like them.
The slip-ons. It's the old man.
I like to just slip them
common
on and
slip
rock
ons,
it.
yeah.
That's right.
No, but I do have tons of inventory, and if you're looking for something, look at you want to wear sneakers like to a wedding, like I did last weekend, brand new pair.
I almost
my move.
texted you. I texted this guy just to see how he was doing on Saturday. I was at that road clean. We had road cleanup for Rotary. We did that in the morning. Smoothest one yet. Thank you to everybody for not littering.
Yes.
Thank you for not littering.
Thank you for not littering.
I really believe that if you know how when you get a driver's license today, it takes a long time now. It's not like, well, you and I had to both go through it too. You know how like it's a process to get a driver's license. It's like 2 stages, or you got to go through all this stuff.
Not my kids. They waited until they're 18 and then just went.
Or you go do that. I think they ought to make it mandatory for every one of those kids to volunteer at a roadside cleanup at least one time. I think we would knock out littering in one generation.
Right. You got to pick it up once. You're like, yep, this sucks.
Huh? That's my belief.
Because as you're picking it up, you're thinking, why would somebody
what kind of an animal
throws
what kind of a savage
this out
thinks it's okay to throw this sort of garbage out into
somebody else's property?
That's
too.
what you think when you do it. And so do that a few times, and it'll change your outlook a little bit. So hey, that's just a free tip, kids. Do with it what you will.
Yeah. I did stick around or tuned in last night to see Scuba lose again and watching the Tigers totally free fall. It's been so disheartening. It's good thing the Lions smacked Baltimore on Monday night.
At least you got
awesome.
that. And also, before I forget, I remember what I was going to say there. So I was out there, cleaning up on the roadside, and I knew you were going to this wedding thing, and I almost texted you to say, "What are you wearing?"
Yeah.
Because I wanted to know if he was wearing like a tux with sneakers or like a suit with sneakers.
So sweet.
Because I just had a
check.
feeling. I had a feeling he was rocking sneakers. Absurd like bright
white, brand new Jordan 5s. No, brand new. I definitely got a couple older, the Cole's grandpa.
Yeah,
those are some nice shoes, son. He's from the South and stuff. And no, it was.
He thought you were 21 years old.
Yeah, good. No, I do that most of the time. As you ever see me dress up, I just break out sneakers.
I did not text him though. I just let it be. But I thought, I bet Pat's rocking like some cool outfit at this thing.
Yeah, no, it was good. But yeah,
what should I wear this week? That's always tough. I don't have like a tremendous amount of. I've got a bunch of suits from back in the day. You know what I mean? Remember when I was dressing all dapper all the time?
Oh yeah,
I got
the vests
those.
and stuff.
Yeah, with the vests and all that. But now it feels a little odd, a little over the top. Plus, these guys seem super down to earth and like chill
don't
kind
wear
of
jeans.
people.
Just don't wear jeans.
Yeah, I don't really wear jeans.
Some Dickies.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I guess I'll figure it
Some
out.
John Cena cutoffs.
Some jorts.
Yeah.
Nice cargo jorts.
Yeah.
Cut off. Yeah, I like
Fanny
that.
pack.
There you go.
Fanny. Yeah, boy, that could really spoil the affair.
I did see Saturday morning. Somebody sent me that Ferris for their homecoming game was a 97-point favorite. 97, like the year, like that seems like an ungodly number of points in a football game. Let alone the spread to be that much. Like the other team wasn't even going to show up.
Yeah,
they did win. What I got 76-0.
I was going to say they almost covered it.
That's crazy, man. I've never seen a spread. That's Dom. Can you look up some of the largest spreads in football?
What are some of the
most because
most obvious
97
blowouts of all time,
is
that's
insanity.
Hey, is it okay for me to thank our lovely guest from last week, Alicia?
Yes, thank you, Alicia.
Alicia Pillbeam from the Peaks Event Center was great. We had a lot of fun, and I'm just rooting for those
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hope the comedy night went well for them. Unfortunately, it's football season, so Thursday
all
nights
their
are free for us.
promotion went really well for it. I saw they did a good job of getting around and letting people know.
Hit up a lot of different radio
Yep.
and news outlets, and yeah.
How much fun is that to get to meet all the comedians as they come through? I hope hope it turns into like our little intersection.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if the Peaks could be, like an intersection.
It will take people going.
Yeah,
so
we're
go
gonna
to
have
those
to buy
shows.
tickets.
That's only
We gotta buy tickets and
only
show up.
reason that it doesn't become that is if people don't go.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because we're all spoiled with streaming service after streaming service, option after option.
I watched the Santino Hulu special.
We've
That
got
was so funny.
indoor golf simulators, and we have indoor, music spaces, and we have hot tubs, and
Hot tubs, football, big screens.
I mean, it can be tough to get out of the house.
It can be.
It can be tough to leave and go do some stuff, but it's worth it because it's fun out there. So thanks,
Speaking
Alicia, for coming on.
Of getting out of the house,
Yeah,
you want to
hit me
get
up.
into this week's uplifting moment?
Yeah.
It's upcoming moment.
Okay.
We have a very specific thing that I've never heard of called the National Good Neighbor Day.
Oh, I know about this.
And
National
the
Good Neighbor
local
Day's been around a long time.
Big Rapids community. Well, it's probably because I was out in the boondocks
true.
and my neighbors
Yeah, you
were
kinda gotta be
4
like-
acres away.
You hear about this stuff when you live in a city, I feel like.
This is put on by the Big Rapids Community Library. This is on Saturday from 1 to 3. Celebrate being a good neighbor. Discover more ways to create a good community at their Neighbor Day event. They'll be providing some food.
Okay, so once again, Big Rapids Public Library just
Mid-Mission
killing
community
it with the great inclusive events stuff. They got stuff for everybody, all ages, all the time. You got to check out their events because I think it's a much underutilized asset in the community. But does it say it is? So what I know about National Good Neighbor is an award. They usually do a Good Neighbor award, but this almost looks like just an excuse for people to get together and meet their neighbors. Do you think that's what it is?
Yeah, it looks like it's just a block party. So come meet your neighbors. That 400 block there, I'm sure they're welcoming everybody to come down.
Nice. So if
but
you'd
yeah.
like to meet some of your Big Rapids neighbors, come on down to the library
Or
this
just
Saturday,
have
1 to
a
3.
hot dog and some chips and drink. And
Yeah.
the
You know what?
library's doing such a good thing.
Let's show up at that. We'll go run our race and then go do this. I'll go marry that couple and then go play some music. It'll be a fun
Put
day.
together my kitchen. Yeah,
And
no,
you'll put
why
together.
not? I will say, now that I am a city resident, I can see why there's a day dedicated to being actually good to your neighbor. I mean, not my neighbor specifically, but I can see it.
Most days
my neighbors are nice,
Yeah.
and but
Most
there are
days
things.
people just spend resenting their neighbors. So it's good to have
Right.
one like a good neighbor day.
I could see what my neighbors are probably already getting sick of me. A lot of movement. They haven't seen much movement in a while, and we got
Yeah.
cars coming and going.
It was
all
just a
day.
family of raccoons that lived there before you.
Right. Yeah, they just would throw their scraps to them, and now it's me. So
Oh, it's all right. You guys will win them over. Yeah.
I'll try. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll have to put on a block party.
There you go. Little cookout.
Well, we got some stuff coming up. I wanted to get on some people's radar. We talked about this already, but there is now an
that's right.
actual event coming.
Yeah, this is coming up this next Tuesday at Ferris. They're bringing in a Grammy Award winning songwriter from Nashville. Her name is Natalie Hemby, and she is a solo artist and the member of a group called the High Woman. That's a good name, the High Woman. She's been able to work with a bunch of famous people. Sheryl Crow, Miranda Lambert, Lady Gaga, Dierks Bentley, Kelly Clarkson, Little Big Town. It goes on and on. So she's going to be basically taking apart what a great song is, taking it apart right in front of us, and helping us to sort of understand how to assemble such a thing. Mm-hmm. And so, if that sounds good to you, it's a free event. It is going to be at the David Eisler Center Ballroom That's up in the new University Center, up on the upper level. If you haven't been up there, kind of across from the art gallery.
You should get over there if you haven't been there.
Yeah, and
University
so
Center
come
Suite.
check it out. It's on my calendar. I'm planning to be there, and this is just one of a series of arts
and
lectures
yep.
that will be happening throughout the winter and the spring.
Very,
Okay?
Very fun. I shared this with Dom yesterday, but fun fact is my first CD that I ever bought was actually 2. I bought them at the same time via, Columbia House or something.
Let's all think. Everybody think what your very first,
And this is going to catch you
what
out
your
of left
first
field.
music media purchase was, even if it wasn't a CD.
It was a CD for me.
For me, it was a tape. But go on.
Was Shania Twain and Little Big Town.
Embarrassing. That was a double?
No, there was a 2-pack. I got to buy 2 from Columbia House up via my mom's subscription.
Oh, now
so.
Columbia House definitely played a part in my first music purchase too. But they were tapes. You could get X amount. I can't remember if it was like 13. That was like a baker's dozen, right? So you could get a dozen plus one more for a penny. The dozen were free. You see, this is how they did things back in the day, kids.
Free.
They'd send you this flyer, and the flyer would have all of the best music
Bangers.
at the
Everything
time
you're hearing.
in every genre.
Some stuff you've never heard, didn't even know existed yet.
And you would just look at it like, oh my gosh, look at oh my god, all over. And they would say 12 for free for signing up.
You filled out the little
and
box.
for 1 penny, you get an extra one. You get the 13th, something like that. It was always some little thing, and you would have to tape a penny to the thing. You'd send it in with all your choices circled, and I'm not kidding. 6 to 8 weeks later.
6 to 8 weeks.
But then you were on the everything took 6 to 8 weeks. I'm telling you, it really did. It took time. It was so long, but it didn't matter. You weren't doing anything. You didn't have the internet, guys. There was nothing happening. 6 to 8 weeks. There'd be like very little change in the world in 6 to 8 weeks. It wasn't like
the
today.
news cycle would
That's right.
take 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, there was no new music in that time, so it wasn't like you missed anything. Okay, a box would show up, and you suddenly had a music collection.
Yeah, you went from having zero
to 13 of your favorites, and
which is probably all your favorite music.
and that was the
the time.
last time you ever responded to Columbia House because
because you were on the
after
hook to
that, you were
purchase
on the hook,
10
and
more.
you just basically ignored them forever.
Change your
after
address.
that, yeah, and maybe you would sign up several more times in your life under other names.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something you did, not me, but somebody else. And that was Columbia House. That was their legacy. I don't know how they ever made any money.
It was so funny because I went from Shania Twain and Little Big Town to Tupac, and
Well, certainly.
I mean, I flipped the switch and it was over
My
after that.
first bought and paid for tape cassette. It was a cassette tape. Was Aerosmith.
Aerosmith.
Yep.
Okay.
Eat the Rich.
Eat the Rich.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that was probably influenced by my big brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I was happy to do
Right.
it. You know what? Aerosmith ended up being my first real concert I ever saw too.
Oh, I bet that was sweet too.
Yeah, I was about like 15.
Oh,
Dom?
that's really cool.
I didn't purchase any
Let's see
tapes,
you.
but I absolutely lived through the tape. I would listen to Casey Kasem's Top 40, and I would record my own mixtapes.
Oh, yeah,
but
for
my
sure.
first CD that I ever bought with my Finger Hut catalog CD player that I worked all summer to save up and purchase.
$13 a month.
I bought 2 CDs, Please Hammer Don't Hurt 'Em and Ice Ice Baby.
Oh, heck yeah, man. Don't pretend like you first started buying CDs, though. What was your first record?
No, I
What was your first 8-track?
What was your first 8
when I was in 8th grade, our 8th grade student council would always put on the 8th grade dances, and we were still purchasing single records like Billie
Right.
Jean and
Yeah.
things
wow.
like that. We were still purchasing the record single
That's
from the record
insane.
store in town.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You're gonna.
There
There
I
are kids
didn't
who are
purchase-
listening who didn't understand a word you
Yeah, I
just
know.
said.
I know.
Record store, that doesn't mean anything to
Singles?
them. Singles,
Yeah.
what? Records, what? School dance?
Yeah.
8th grade dances? No, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
LimeWire, Napster.
Oh, yes.
Also, let's not go down that rabbit hole because that's where I lived.
I remember the very
in the
first
2000s.
thing I ever tried to download.
Stole.
You know what it was? Parliament Funkadelic.
I don't think I know that.
What?
I'm sure I've heard this. I've played the
We
song.
got a real type of thing going on, getting down.
Don't get us canceled.
There's a whole lot of rhythm going around.
Yeah, I know that song. Yeah. Okay.
We got fun.
George Clinton, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play that. No, there's just a ton. If you hear any noise, it's just me and the boys. Hit me.
I don't know. I didn't get in trouble downloading until
Was it all hip-hop
it was
for
movie.
you?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was all hip-hop by then, right?
Talk about mixtapes. I lived in the mixtape era, so we were downloading
That must have been
mixtapes.
fun, buddy. I was out of that
Taking
whole
them and putting them back into our own mixtapes, and then we would. Dude, I had catalogs. You talk about 8th grade dance. Guess who DJ'd their 8th grade dance? Boom, this guy. I mean, it was
because you had actual dance music. I was
right.
completely obsessed with punk rock music by about that time.
Yeah, somebody in Morley in the early 2000s that listened to rap music was
An oddity.
That odd.
Yeah, well, and you show up to weddings, you're wearing sneakers, you're almost 40 years old. People, hey, stay true.
Hey, at least he's got all of his own hair. So
Hey,
I still
is
have all my own hair.
hey, he hasn't taken any transplants.
All of it is mine. And hey, put yourself up on camera. I know you've been staying off of camera
I don't
today.
I don't have a shot with the three of us today.
Oh, that's too funny. Too funny.
Well,
All right. We do have a couple
I was
other
going
events.
to say, let's get this going because we do have a great guest today.
We
so
do.
let's go.
I hope she's having a great time so far. We talked about this last week. The Fairgrounds storage opens up on October 12th at 10 a.m. It is first come, first serve.
So that's for
look up
winterizing,
boats and
keeping
RVs
stuff.
and all that kind of stuff. This also come across my timeline this week. It's Mecosta County versus Cancer. Crawl for Cancer bar crawl. This is October 11th, put on by a dear friend of mine, Mandy. They'll start at Crankers, I believe, at 6 and end the night at the Elks. So something you're looking for. Fun
It's not like a very far way to crawl.
No, it's running through the social district of Big Rapids.
Yeah,
and,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, no, that was we missed
Crawl
it
for
last year,
Cancer,
but
huh?
see if we can get there this year.
Shoot, that sounds really fun.
I think if you sign up now, if I remember right, you can get like a cup that you take
Fun.
from one place to the other.
Yeah.
Speaking also of 5Ks that I was signed up for since the last time I seen you, on October 4th, we have the Homecoming Run and Walk 5K that is put on by our very own Crossroads Charter Academy.
Oh my gosh, these are starting to add up, dude. Are you
yeah.
doing this one too?
Fortunately,
I feel super bad because I'm out of town that weekend.
I was going to say, you're on the board.
Yeah.
I can see you doing it. I don't think I'm going to because we're already doing this. We're doing the skeleton scurry too. Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like
this one.
these are starting to add up on me.
The wife strong-armed me into this one.
Well, good.
As a new school board member,
Yeah, you should
have
probably
to-
go.
Is it
coincide
around the
with
track? Or is it on their
do
cross
not
country field?
know. Cross-country course.
Oh man, that is
Fairgrounds behind
phenomenal.
the grandstand. So
Yeah.
that'll be fun. Go to their event page and get signed up for that one. And yes, you are right. At the end of October, we have the 5K Skeleton Scurry is backed by Pioneer. This year's benefits to the Angels of Action. This one you can actually get dressed up in. We'll have to find a good costume for. And I'll be going straight from this to Trunk or Treat Fall Fest.
Right. Spirit Halloween has got great costumes. I say we
Go in there and just
let's pick a theme
pick it.
and we go and we do something. All three of us, maybe.
All three of us.
Oh yeah.
All right.
What could we be? What could we be? Maybe
The three of
you
them.
could. I could be
Three
Luke.
Musketeers.
I don't know why this came to me. Luke and Leia.
Three
and Josh.
Stooges.
Why do I have to be Leia? I can't be like Jar Jar Binks or something. Oh my goodness!
What about
Princess Leia?
Hey, we've got time. We should let the viewers.
Pick
we
our
should let
costume.
them
Yeah.
pick our costumes.
Open
If
to that. What do
anybody
you guys
even watches
think?
this, give us some ideas
Yeah, let us know what you think about
for the three of us.
the three of us. If there's something we could be that would be
Yeah,
funny.
what kind of outfit do you
I
want to
just
see
watched
Pat
The Hangover
wear?
recently. We can go as like the three best friends that.
Yeah. Anybody ever had?
Dibs on a face tattoo. I dibbed it.
Damn, I was dibbing it at the same time. Anyways,
All right. Well, so we've got some runs coming up. We're gonna be getting our exercise.
Little exercise it's for the community.
Yeah, it's all good.
I think. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You mentioned the trunk or treat. If you want to participate in the trunk or treat, you absolutely should. There's no reason not to. Plenty of room. I believe you get in touch with the DBA. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And or there's some organizations that are organizing their own parts of it. We're actually, I think, going
Yeah,
to the church.
we know Res Life is trying to get like 20 or 25 cars signed up. So you can sign up through them and be one of those cars.
Hit up Remax. I know they're organizing it too. Our friends there.
Yeah, Remax together probably, or the city.
Yep.
Those would be the three, call City Hall and ask about getting your car involved in trunk or treat.
They also, I don't know if you've seen, but they are changing the celebrity pumpkin roll a little bit this year to do a fundraising approach to it. So I'm going to get more details on it, but I think you kind of raise funds and, roll for a certain community.
Oh, so now we don't have
charity.
to just show up and roll. Now we got to like actually convince people to donate some money
I think
too.
so.
I see.
I think so.
Yeah, that's a good way to leverage
My wife
it.
is the trophy holder right now.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah.
Good for her. I've never won. I've come
I
second
beat
twice.
her, but she's the trophy holder.
I've come in second. Well, I came in second once, and then the other one was a little ambiguous as to who was second.
She
It didn't matter
smashed
though.
me the first year.
I lost. I've lost every time.
Second place is the first loser.
I know it. And I
what
had
I'll be telling
such
you
a
on
good
Saturday.
roll. I'm trying to think of who beat me the first time, but I had such a great roll. I had this perfect little pumpkin, and I rolled it right at the right angle to like ride its imperfection. I mean, it went down past the Elks.
Oh yeah.
And this was back when we were throwing it from the
Not to
crosswalk.
say, but did you guys remember Ross's?
But I
roll?
got beat.
I rolled it to city
This year?
last year.
Yeah, I was going to say he's got those long arms. He's got those strong
arms.
He just is built for it. I think I might have gotten beat by a basketball player. One of the Ferris athletes. They just winged it. And yeah, what are you going to do?
Hey, sometimes you win.
What are you going to do?
Hey.
I'm just glad people show up to watch that part of it.
And I think they're going to organize it in a way where you can actually watch it if you're standing in line and stuff this year. Where last year it was really hard too. So
yeah, that's the other thing is trying to time it right so that
I like the timing last year.
Yeah, people can enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You just couldn't really see it.
Okay, are we good, or can we get
I think
to
we're
this
good.
week's guest? Good,
We got
'cause-
a wonderful guest.
yeah, we've got a great guest, and we've been going plenty long enough now. That she's been sitting patiently and waiting, but we've got a couple of things happening around the city, and so we thought it would be a good idea to get somebody in, from the city to kind of talk about them. And one of our city commissioners agreed and said that she was game to come out and hang out with us. And
She's like, I have no idea what you're asking me, but
yeah,
sure.
She's like, never been on a podcast, not sure what you're doing there, but I will come and share what I know. And so we're so happy to have her. Would everybody please help me welcome Miss Jen Cochran, our city commissioner.
Former city commissioner.
Yeah. Now we have known each other a while now because we served together on the zoning.
Planning Commission.
No, Planning Commission.
Planning
Years ago. That's where it was. Not the ZBA, but the Planning Commission.
Right.
And you were always my favorite commissioner to serve with, even though I don't know if I ever told you that, but I always just thought like you brought the most reason and reasonability and good sense to the proceedings. And but we didn't get to serve together that long because you became a city commissioner and I went and did other things as well. And now we're not doing any of those things. Is that right?
Well, I moved on to Charter Commission now.
Oh, now you're on a different commission.
Charter.
Okay,
Right,
but
right.
no longer on city commission, and now instead helping the city to revise its charter
Right.
on that commission, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But Jen, welcome, and thank you so much for being part of the show here.
No, thank you so much for having me.
What does it feel like being on your first podcast?
It's exhilarating.
Is it
I'm having
fun
a
so
great
far?
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
I am
it's,
having a
it's a
great
good
time.
environment, right?
Well, your conversation about your first music purchases, and I have a few years on you fellas.
Oh, please, Jen,
So,
we would
I mean,
love
we're
to
talking
hear.
I'm sure it was a
serious
CD
vinyl.
also.
We're talking way back, way
prob-
before CD.
Probably an MP3. No,
Yeah,
go ahead, tell
before
us.
CDs.
What was your first
I'm just
music
saying.
media purchase? What did you buy the very first thing?
Oh, God, it was so long ago. And see, of course, my older brother did a lot of the earlier purchasing for me. I think it was the Mamas and Papas album, the one
Yep.
where they're sitting in the tub.
Yes, I know.
I don't remember titles too well, but it was that classic one that they had.
Yes, I
sitting
remember
in the
that
tub.
cover.
Yeah,
Wow.
How about that? And do you remember what media it was on? Was it a record?
it was a record. It was
Yeah.
vinyl. Oh yeah,
Great.
yeah.
And where did you go to school?
Where did I go to school?
Yeah.
Well, I grew up in a suburb of Cleveland.
No kidding.
Yep.
Like the kid in the Christmas Story.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I know that department store very well.
Yeah.
Hallie's, I used to go down there all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
grew up down there. How did you end up in Big Rapids?
I followed my husband here. We were living in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. We had kind of a circuitous route. We met in Columbus in graduate school. From there, we moved to Vermont. From there, we moved down to New Jersey. And then Rich got a job with Ferris as their dean of the library. And he moved us here.
Was that, I mean, obviously that was pre-flight library.
He was actually brought here to help build Flight.
Wow, what
Very
a
cool.
project. That must have
Yeah.
been like the biggest thing at the time, eh?
Well, he had some previous
pretty sweet.
You know?
library construction experience at our school in Vermont, which was St.
in
Michael's
Vermont.
College, and was supposed to be doing the same down in the school at New Jersey, but circumstances were such that they scrapped the project. So he was out, I believe.
Sometimes books fall out of fashion.
Well, I believe at the time, Bill Cedarberg was the president of Ferris. And he had this vision of the library being what he called a cathedral of learning. He had just come back from a tour of Europe, and in little European
Yes,
towns, the cathedral
sure.
dominates the
Right.
landscape. So that was his vision, and he had already appropriated the money from the state legislature. And so Rich had experience with library construction, so put them together, and that's what happened. In fact,
incredible.
they're coming up on their 25th anniversary.
Wow.
Wow.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What did you
It's
go
a staple of the city. That's
Yeah,
for
no
sure.
kidding. And now look at how the university has grown up around it. The other
yeah.
buildings have all had to be more impressive because of Flight Library.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
You know what I mean? It's
One of my favorite parts
everything.
of the city, for sure.
Yeah.
What did you go to school for?
What did I go? Oh my goodness, you're really getting into my history. Well, let's see. I started out undergraduate. I got a degree in French. Master's degree, I got a degree in teaching English as a second language, which I did for a time. And then my doctorate is in education with an emphasis in ethnographic research.
Unbelievable, guys. I think this is only we've only had a few doctors now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
very impressive.
Wow.
Were your folks stoked about that French undergrad?
Well, my mom, the practical one, kept saying, well, what are you going to do with it? Why don't you combine it with
Speak
business?
French.
Why don't you combine it with this? And at one point I had, because I love foreign languages, I had this lofty aspiration about being an interpreter for the UN.
Wow.
But,
That'd be
but
so
that
cool.
requires absolute fluency in at least 5 languages.
Wow. Yeah.
So that dream kind of went by.
You got to
the
be a
wayside.
polyglot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. But
Well, it was probably good advice then, or it was a good choice then to pair it with ESL for your, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
boy, that you could do that. You could still use that anywhere, anytime.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I actually, after I graduated college, I stayed out of school for several years, and I worked at the Cleveland Clinic Hospital doing various and sundry, and got interested in food and nutrition because I was dabbling with vegetarianism at the time. So I went to talk to a professor at Case Western Reserve University in downtown Cleveland. And I said, here's what I have on my sheet. What do I need to fill in to get into grad school for food and nutrition? So she gave me a long list of sciences. And as it happened, I was living with my folks at the time, and we were 1 mile from a university, a local university. So I went there and I took all these sciences,
No kidding.
Wow.
which was great, great fun and so interesting.
Was
and
this after the education
this is-
doctorate?
no. This is after my bachelor's degree.
Oh, I see.
After my
So
doctorate
you
is a whole
almost
nother thing.
pivoted to medicine, or not
It's nutrition.
health,
yeah,
let's
health,
just say.
food.
But it was while I was, out of school, and I encountered a lot of foreign students at Case Western Reserve, and Case had an ESL program, and that's where I started. The seed for ESL started with me. So I was very glad to do that, and the education, the doctorate just was a continuation of my master's, learning how to look at education through the lens of culture, which was really cool.
Yeah, very
Absolutely.
cool. For sure.
And I tied my language stuff into it because there was a sociolinguistic aspect to it. Like when you're in a teaching conversation between a teacher and a student, what are you communicating? So it just opened a whole new world for me. So
Yeah.
that was kind of cool.
Man, I'm jealous. I'm so happy that you got to,
so cool.
spend that time studying all this
Learning,
stuff and
yeah.
learning. When you, about what year when would that have been when you were really interested in veganism? And are you still a vegan?
Vegetarianism and
Or vegetarian, sorry. No. Because
Burgers.
I dabble in it as
Steak.
well. And also the answer is no, I'm not
Well-
any longer. But
honestly,
was that like 90s?
gosh, you're making me dig back. No, that was more like in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How about that?
Really?
And the thing about trying to complete proteins with different non-meat sources,
Yeah.
really takes a lot of thinking, a lot of planning.
Yeah.
And of course, the other downside of that for me was, I'm baking bread and I'm eating a lot of bread.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's kind of
You can
showing
be
that
a
I'm eating a lot
very
of bread.
you can be a very fat vegetarian.
that
I
kind of
learned that
stuff.
firsthand. Yeah. I've told these guys this before, that when I tried to be vegan once, I found out that you can have chips, fries, breads. Okay. And so I would have these chicken Parmesan sandwiches with fake chicken patties,
Yeah.
fake cheese, the whole thing. Delicious. Oh, I was getting fat. I was going to be a very fat vegan. Okay, just a couple more questions to get to know you, and then we can talk about city stuff, I promise. But what did your folks do? What were they like?
My parents were just very hardworking. My mom had worked, she had a background in journalism and had worked with a very famous columnist at the time in Chicago for the Chicago Sun-Times.
Wow.
She loved to write and she loved to research and she loved to go interview people and stuff. So while she was doing the housewife thing, she was also kind of working at that and kind of working for local papers, writing interest pieces and so forth. Really liked that a lot.
That's great.
Yeah. That's fun work.
And my
admirable.
father he started out in advertising. And at the age of 50, he came home one day and he asked my mother, how would you feel if I strike out on my own? And she said, fine, let's go for it. So it was in what they used to call advertising specialties. I'm not sure if they call that now. Back in the day, he was like the middle person. If like the bank wants to offer a promotional item, like a pen or whatever that happens to be with their logo on it, he would act as the middleman between the bank and the suppliers.
Printer.
Gotcha.
Right?
That's great.
Yeah. He was
yeah.
the original Vistaprint then.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, I would imagine there was a good chunk of time where that was invaluable.
Yeah, I mean, you sat
Pre-internet.
down with them. You
Yeah,
drew up what
absolutely
the logo
pre-internet.
was, what
Yeah.
kind of pens we can put it on. I mean, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That was a full.
And
And,
did he?
and this is
did,
pre-computers.
and did he do okay at that?
He did. Yeah, he did well.
Good.
I mean, we weren't rolling in it or anything.
Right,
But,
I hear
but
ya.
he took care of us.
Well, great.
And it was awesome, and he really enjoyed what he was doing.
Are they still in Ohio?
No, they're both passed.
Of course. Sorry.
At 50,
That was thoughtless. That was.
at 50 though, I've told my wife multiple times, I'm gonna pivot. I'm gonna do something because, I mean, you're proof, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
have this long history of education in these different directions that you were gonna go, and then you went a different direction, and maybe at some point you want to come back to that.
Yeah,
or
dude, you still got a
fell in
second
love-
act.
right?
We've got our second acts coming.
Yeah.
Real estate was probably my second act, but I've got a third act coming. I'm
Yeah.
sure of it.
Oh,
I'm going to do
I'm
something.
sure.
Totally.
That's
I'm gonna do
awesome,
Something
though.
useful to the world. Okay, and just last question. How'd you meet your husband?
Oh, wow.
I mean, I know y'all were
This
at
is a
school or
story.
whatever, but
This is a story. Rich and I were both in the same doctoral program, and we didn't know it until the last 6 months of our classwork. Our paths had not crossed, and we ended up in 2 classes together the last 6 months. And what can I say? He was smitten. But what he did, and I understand, my husband is he's a librarian, he's an archivist by training, and he's a consummate researcher, right?
So his heart rate doesn't get very high.
No, it gets
By
high enough, but we had our one class, one of our professors wanted us to kind of build community in class, right? So he had us all write down our names and our phone numbers, and then he photocopied it and handed it out to everybody. Well, my last name and the number kind of didn't come out very clearly. So Richard literally, now mind you, this is at Ohio State University with like 57,000 students, right?
And what was your last name?
It started with a P.
Oh, okay.
And he
that
literally
was all he
sat
knew.
with the student directory until he matched my name and the last 4 digits of my
Good for
phone
him.
number.
No.
And then he wrote me some poetry, but I didn't know it was him. He sent me 3 poems, and they were a very particular poetry type, which I was not familiar with. It's called the villanelle. It's just a certain very particular rhyme scheme.
But I would imagine like a French major would probably be digging any sort of like any poetry being thrown her way would be like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking, I'm getting this. I got this in the mail, right? And mind you, he lived. I was living in Columbus, very near campus. He lived in a town called New Concord, which is about 80 miles east.
Oh, wow.
Because that's where he was working at the time, and he was commuting to come into school, right? So I get these 3 poems in the mail, very lovely poems. No hint who sent them. Not a hint. The postmark was
Kids
Columbus.
would have no idea.
Right?
You are
The
blowing
postmark
all
is
of their minds
Columbus,
right
and
now.
I don't know what's going on. So I'm thinking, well, this is very nice. I seem to have
This
a
was
secret
what it
admirer.
was like to woo back in the day, kids. This is what it took to woo a woman.
This is 1986. Just to give you
Yes.
time frame.
My birth year.
The week to the day, the next week got another set of 3, and now I'm starting to think, someone knows where I live.
I have a stalker.
I'm gonna become a Netflix special someday.
But it took me about 3 weeks. He's also calling me for no particular reason, and that's a toll call, and I'm like, well, what's going on here? Finally figured it out. We're on the phone one Saturday, and he finally got up the nerve to ask me out for dinner. And I said, well, before I answer that, I said, can I ask you something? I said, do you know anything about poetry? And there's dead silence.
He's just sweating
Dead
bullets.
silence on the phone, right? For about 5 full seconds. And then he goes, yes. And I said, have you been writing some recently? And he goes, yes.
That's
So
funny.
we
That's
broke
good.
the ice there.
Well, good for him, man. That's
yeah.
you know
Hey,
what? That's how you do it.
perseverance.
That's how you win a woman.
I'll tell you what, it was.
You work at it.
And also,
and,
You work at it. You go to the directory. You cross reference. You write. You study.
used
you
to
learn.
be able to do these things, by the way. I don't
write a
recommend doing
letter.
this
You
now.
send it in the mail proper.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Over weeks.
The stamp.
Not just like a text, like a you up question mark. You know what I mean? Like, come on, kids, we can do better than this.
I now have just I have a
right.
little book of 35 of his poems.
Aww.
He wrote one for our vows for our wedding, and just a little side story about the research. Getting back to tying my French back in, I had chosen an old French song that I really liked.
La vie en roses. I'm just kidding. That's the only one I
The
know.
Ohio State music librarians could not find the lyrics, but he found the lyrics.
Aww.
then
That's a good
we had a
man.
friend of ours
You
who
must
had
marry him at that point.
I think I must.
A
That's it.
librarian and an
That's it.
archivist. That just sounds like a solid person to me. I think probably
Yeah.
did okay. And now, how long you been married?
He's a good guy. We have been married 38 years.
Wow.
Together 39.
That's almost twice as long as us.
Yeah.
And
that is more.
you know what I mean? Like we're pushing 20. So good on you guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Maybe at some point you can explain what is a charter.
No. We're going to talk about the charter
We're for
stuff.
sure going to talk about what the charter
But
is.
first, before we get to the charter thing,
Yeah.
why don't you tell everybody about the candidate forum that's coming up?
Yes, I just wanted to remind everyone, if they're not already aware, this evening, Wednesday, September 24th, at 6 p.m. in City Hall in the Commission Room. The AAUW Big Rapids branch is sponsoring the City Commission Candidate Forum. So we will be asking questions of the mayor and the 3 commission candidates. There are 3 commission candidates for 2 seats. And we hope that people will come. We are going to give them some prepared questions, but then the audience will have an opportunity to ask questions of them. And it's just a really good way to see and hear the folks who are standing for office in the city of Big Rapids.
I'm a firm believer that it doesn't take very long. You don't have to listen to someone speak for very long to realize, oh, they're maybe think different than I do or whatever. It doesn't take that long of hearing someone speak to be like, okay,
yeah.
I get it. I get it now. This is what you know what I mean? So oftentimes those candidate interviews are pretty enlightening. Now, does Dr. Gunther, is he rerunning? I mean, not is he rerunning. He
is running for re-election.
Is this an election year for him?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and he's
He is
unopposed.
unopposed.
Right. He's been doing a great job. We love him. Now,
Friend of the show.
Between Karen, David, and Dan Kerwin, only 2
seats.
can be elected.
Correct.
All right, so we've got Karen Simmons. She
Show us
is
up,
an
Tom.
incumbent. She's an incumbent. David Rhodes, also incumbent. And then Dan Kerwin is the new candidate. So tonight, 6 to 8, and you guys will see this if we as a team get this podcast up quickly enough today so that maybe you can see this. But,
At least get a reel up.
Even if you don't see it in time, at least you will know that this is what's going on because the vote isn't until
The election is November 4th, but absentee
November
ballots
4th.
are already out.
there you go.
There it is.
And it is going to be live streamed.
Oh,
you
the
go.
thing tonight.
Yeah,
Great.
the forum is going to be live streamed.
There we go.
And
Ho-
then
maybe
Steve,
it'll be recorded too.
Steve
but
Gove
yep.
will be taking
Now
care
I
of it.
have served with Dr. Gunther. I have served with Karen Simmons before. Solid people. David Rhodes. I go to church with him. Known him a long time. Great guy. Good-hearted guy. I'm not sure if I know Dan Kerwin or not, but
I've seen him in the community.
yeah, I was gonna say the face looks a bit familiar. So I'm gonna try to tune in and see who's gonna be representing us since we are city folk.
Oh yeah, that's right. I should
You know
probably
what I mean? You should
pay
probably
attention.
care a little bit. Okay, so that's the candidate forum. But let's talk about the real reason that you were here because God knows we've wasted enough time already. It's going to be we're going to go on a crazy long pod again. But you know what?
Might be the longest one.
No, not really, because you know what? This topic is not something that regular folks get super excited about. And so we'll keep it brief just to help with that. But here's what we're talking about, guys. The city of Big Rapids is in the process of doing a charter revision. What does that mean? You hear charter, what do you think? Your charter
Crossroads.
schools, you think this, you think that.
Fishing.
People don't know. Now, I'm just going to take a crack at it. I'll give you my layman's version of what's happening. And then, Jen, you can tell us what is actually happening and you can encourage people to get involved. But essentially, every municipality, to be a municipality, you've got to have a charter approved by the state. You know, the city, the county, they have to have a state-approved charter that, and the charter is basically a document that says how the municipality will be organized, and structured, and what its authority and powers will be, what its goals are, et cetera. That is a charter. So it's sort of a guiding document for a municipality. Is that
Different than a master plan
Yeah.
different than a master plan?
Yeah.
Yes, but is that
for those.
is that close? Maybe you know what? Maybe the master plan is more with the guide, but yeah, Jen, how would you define it?
Well, you are very close.
All right,
Just so you know,
hooray!
Big Rapids is what we call a home rule city. And we have what is called a council manager form of government, which is what we have with the mayor and 4 commissioners who work together with the city manager. And between those 2 entities, that's how the city work gets done. The master plan has to do with what you're doing with land in the
Right,
city of Big
zoning
Rapids.
issues
It's
and stuff.
zoning issues,
Right.
but
Laying
land
out the
use
city and
issues.
stuff, land uses.
Right,
Yeah.
development type
Okay.
issues. The charter is the government document. The charter is kind of like our constitution.
Right.
It's the rule book for how government is structured, and it lays out how the different rules and roles and duties and responsibilities for the various members of the government, the elected side and the appointed side, the staff side. And what's interesting about this, of course, I'm going to get my nerdy government hat on here now.
Please.
Because
Good.
just as an aside, the reason I started on the Planning Commission way back when was to try and to teach myself how government works. And I've been in that 10 years now. It's been a really, really interesting learning experience.
Amen.
But the charter reflects things that have to be in there because of state law. And then the other part is what we want, the kind of community we want, the kind of government we want, and things like that. So we also need, in addition to just following the rules from state law, we also need to hear from the public on certain issues, which is where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
But we're revising it. Why are we revising it?
Because it's been a length of time, right? I mean, to let me jump back in as like a community member, I know that every 10 years or so, you're supposed to sort of go over your charter and give it a update.
Right.
But then every few decades, you really ought to do
A new refresh.
complete like a charter. What do they call that?
Well, you when you revise the charter,
I guess
you
it'd
can
still
go
be a
any
revision, but
number
it'd
of
be a
different
total.
ways, depending on what you need at the time. And you're right.
Yeah.
Community needs change. The environment changes.
Times
laws
change,
change. All of
technology.
that needs to be. The thing about the charter is you want your government to be able to respond effectively to the challenges that come up. Right? They need to be nimble enough to move quickly when they have to. But you still want guardrails because you don't want them just going off doing their own thing.
Right.
All these considerations that go into it. Yeah, the law says you should review it every 10 years.
Oh,
now,
okay,
reviewing,
good.
you could decide, depending on what's going on in your community, you could decide to completely rewrite the charter.
Yeah.
You could, if you wanted to change your form of government from what you have, or if you want to change other things that are pretty dramatic,
Right.
you can do that. What's the critical piece is that you need to get public input so that it's not just a reflection of the people on the commission,
Right.
calling all the shots.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And now this has been a process that's already been in the works now for a while now, right? I mean,
We started, we formed the commission in November of 23.
I was going to say at least a couple of years that we've been,
And we get 3 years to do the work. And ultimately, whatever work we do, it has to go on the ballot and be approved by the voters. So we're on a timeline where we're kind of getting down to the wire in terms of the end of the year to have the revisions done. Then we have to have it reviewed by the Attorney General's office. And they have to give it the okay before we can put it on the ballot.
Good.
So we're working several months ahead of
Right.
the 26th election to ensure that we're in good shape to have the voters vote on it in November 26th.
what, if anything, has changed, or what are some of the areas you think have been the ones that were the most in need of updating or revision?
Well, one thing that really needed updating and which we got a tremendous lot of input from all the various department heads in particular is how the city does purchasing.
Okay, interesting. Tell us
and,
more.
you know,
Purchasing
heretofore-
of salt
Land.
for the winter, purchasing
equipment,
of
materials, anything that
Yeah.
they need to buy.
Okay.
For example, if you have to replace the screw pump at the wastewater treatment
right.
plant.
Oh yeah,
those kinds of
right.
things.
That is a
But-
big deal.
But the list of purchases is long and varied. And
Right, vehicles.
of course, interesting things that they've told us were impacting and kind of impeding them from acting quickly enough. Certainly the cost of things has risen exponentially in the last 10 years.
Doubled in some cases, even more.
Yeah, absolutely. With emergency things, if you have a cap on the amount of money you can spend before it has to go to the commission for approval,
I see.
then you're losing, since the commission only meets twice a month.
That's right. You're losing
that
time, and so maybe you're losing out on the special deal that they're offering for that time because you got to wait to get approval.
Yeah.
I guess I get what you're saying. So what Jen means is that every department has a limit to like how much they can spend on their own discretion without seeking approval. And for some departments that might be $1,000 or a couple $1,000. Some it's a bit more, but.
Well, what we discovered through all our conversations was that it really didn't, in this day and age, with the speed of things and change and so forth, it didn't make a lot of sense to put a hard cap on the amount. So what we've done is changed it over to a percentage of the general fund.
There you go.
Okay, yeah, that's
in any
or
given
of their
year.
budget.
Yeah.
And that amount now needs to be approved by the city commission every year when they approve the budget. So it's a yearly review process, which makes it a little more fluid, a little more responsive.
Could make it more a little more challenging for the
Plus, if you put a
for
dollar
the
amount on
departments to
something
know
10 years
when
ago,
they actually
I
meet
mean,
that threshold. But
Totally
you bought a lot
irrelevant.
more with $20 10 years ago than you do now. So
Right.
you put percentages, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, so what do you need from the community? How can our watchers and listeners get involved and let their voices be part of the process, or is it too late for
Well,
that?
No, it's not too late for that. Well, first of all, I want to invite the City of Big Rapids residents to a party in the park.
Oh,
Saturday.
Jen's throwing a party.
The Charter Revision's throwing a party.
Oh my gosh, another party on Saturday? God, we got our
October
dance.
4th.
October
October
4th.
4th.
This is next
Next
Saturday.
Next Saturday.
I was going to say, our dance card is full.
I know, I'm telling you.
My knees are going to hurt.
But we are,
You got to write
we
this down,
are,
Pat. October 4th, party
from
in the
11
park.
to 1 in the Hemlock Park Pavilion.
Oh, at Hemlock.
We are hosting a party. We're going to have free lunch provided by Three Girls Bakery and Deli. We are going to have some fun games that will give people a chance to enjoy themselves and give us some feedback on 3 different issues at the same time. And we're saying, children accompanied by a parent or guardian are welcome, so it can be a family event. And we're really looking forward to seeing everybody.
Well, that sounds great. Do you know what they're going to do for lunch?
We have wrapped sandwiches, half sandwiches. I don't know if you know Paula at Three Girls does a pinwheel thing, so there's going to be some of those. Chips,
Fun.
soda, cookies, her famous cookies thrown in there, and all that good stuff.
Okay, well,
There's lunch
I
next
was going to
Saturday.
say, there's lunch sorted. You got that figured out.
Jog on down after the.
Yeah, I would say
Crossroads
also,
5K.
our meetings are open. I know
Of
they're
course,
not
they
the
always
most
are.
exciting things, but we have fun.
Yeah.
But seriously, we have also on our website, the CRC has a page on the city website. If you go to cityofbr.org /CRC, you'll pull up our website, and there's a link on the left side that will take you to a revising document. We are keeping our revisions rolling as we do them with our strikeouts so that people can see what we've been taking out, what we've been putting in.
Yeah.
And as I say,
Very
input
good.
is, we had
Yeah,
a
we're looking
survey.
at it here. This looks very cool. And you know what? Shout out to the city for updating the website. The
here,
new
here.
the new
Sure.
cityofbr.com or .org.
.org.
Cityofbr.org website it's really good. It's really good. I hate change, and so the first time I went on it, I was like, what do they do here? And I'm telling you, if you just scroll down just a little bit, there's everything you need is right there.
Yeah.
And
We probably should have read this. Before
don't worry, we're not
came on.
showing it anyway. We're
That's
not
all
showing
right.
it anyway.
But
Okay, so
truthfully,
basically,
our meetings are also live streamed, so if people want to tune in and hear our banter, they are more than welcome.
and so, all right, so a few ways people can get involved. Tonight, Wednesday, the 24th, is a candidate forum at City Hall. Everybody is welcome. It's also going to be on YouTube,
Yes.
right?
Right.
The Charter Revision Committee is having a little get-together next weekend, the 4th.
Saturday.
Come down, have lunch, let your voice be heard, maybe meet the people who are on it, see if things are going the way you'd like them to go, or if maybe you have an idea that you think they should hear. Third or fourth, wherever I'm at now, if you go to YouTube and .com/@City of Big Rapids, that's where you can see city commission meetings, charter revision committee meetings, planning commission
Parks and
meetings.
Rec.
Everything is open, transparent, always has been, and now in this current day and age, you can just see these meetings right online. You can watch them live. You can even comment on them, and so there's several ways where you can get involved, not only in the current state of things, but you can contribute to what the future is going to look like.
Absolutely.
Would you say that's right, Jen?
Absolutely.
Anything else that you would like people to know about, getting involved or being part of this charter revision, or just in the city in general?
I encourage people to go sit in meetings, listen, hear what is being talked about and how it's being talked about. And by all means, every meeting has public comment. There's always a section and availability to make a public comment. If you want to address the commission, it's easy to do that. And I'm a very big proponent of the community being aware of who's governing you, what is governing you, what the rules and regs are, understanding how things work in order to make them better.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And we want to hear people's voice. We want the charter to reflect the values that are communicated to us by the residents of the city of Big Rapids.
Sometimes it's nice just to see that there are real human beings that are your neighbors that have volunteered for these roles. They're not, they didn't trick anybody to get into that. It isn't, some elaborate thing. It's just, they asked for help. I raised my hand and here I am. Now I'm here and I'm going to do my best. Right. I mean, that's essentially, I think what local government is, but it can quickly become something that feels like it's all smoke and mirrors or something like that and shadowy. It's not at all, though. You and I know this, but
and volunteering.
I love that you're encouraging everybody to get involved. Meanwhile, I'm going to get less and less involved. I'm out.
We've got lots of boards. They really vary in time commitment. Like, the planning commission takes a lot of time, but we have some.
But it's really
boards that
rewarding.
Don't meet but twice a year, or
I
once
think the
every 2 years.
planning commission was a great board. I really enjoyed my time on the planning commission. I always say probably the school board was the best public service because it's mostly all pats on the back.
And
Not a lot of people getting too mad at you on that one, but whereas planning commission, I was on there when the cannabis legislation was coming through and we were having to try to figure out how we were going to wrestle with all that. It wasn't fun, man. We had a lot of meetings.
It was a lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work, meaning I'd get screamed at. We'd get screamed at as a board, and then I'd have to come home and be like,
it was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was fine.
Well, Jen,
All
you know
is
what?
fine.
I have I've long appreciated the calmness that you bring to public meetings. You're very, very sensible, very reasonable, very rational. You're very educated. You got. I think it's probably. You know what? It's just. There's a reason that that libraries are such a target these days. It's like if you read, if you'll just if you can tell people who've just done some reading and have read a wide variety of things and kind of have an understanding of things. And I've always just appreciated that about you, Jen. I did not know that you were a doctor. I didn't. I've known you like 10 years now. I didn't realize you were a doctor. I feel even more foolish. I don't even have my bachelor's degree. You know what I mean?
I don't go around with it stamped on my forehead. So.
No. Well, you used to carry that big ring that said doctor on it, but I thought that was like for Dr. Pepper or something.
Right, yeah. It's like a Mr. T ring.
Yeah, I thought it was like a Mr. T. No, as a guy who just, is still a few credits away from even getting his bachelor's, but like Pat, like you kind of inspired us about earlier, sort of dreams of it. Maybe at 50 years old, maybe I will
Why
do
not?
something else.
Why not?
You know what I mean?
Why not?
I've thought about getting my law degree. I've thought about doing some other things and trying to be more helpful, in this one precious life I've got. But
Absolutely.
but I also I kind of like just playing guitar and
Football.
drums and hanging out. That could be fun too. So,
Listen,
maybe we'll just podcast and that'll be enough, right?
We're leaving it.
you both do a tremendous job for the community,
Well,
so don't
thank
sell
you.
yourselves so short.
I know. And you know what? This is my favorite time of the week, I think.
For sure.
And this has been really good. But we've kept you beyond.
Way too long.
We may have set another record.
Yep.
For a longest podcast.
Yeah.
Because I could have just talked to you about your personal life for the whole time and been fascinated with that. But thank you for not only what you're doing by putting yourself out there, volunteering, not just for this charter revision committee, but for all of the boards, committees, et cetera, that you've served on in the past. That stuff adds up, I think, to your treasure in heaven. Mm-hmm. I'd like to think so.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
For sure.
And thanks for spending this time with us, Jen, for it being your first podcast. I thought you did a really great job. You're total natural.
Sure.
You look great on camera.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the screen here, and you just pop. So,
Better than Dom.
So yeah, totally. So thank you so much for joining us. And Dom, you got any corrections for us or anything this week?
Well,
before we let these people go?
I do have just a few things, Pat, to answer your question earlier. The largest college football point spread was 222 points.
Oh, I'm guessing Alabama.
No, it was the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets versus Cumberland College in 1916.
Cumberland.
They met the spread.
1916.
222-0.
And they covered?
Way.
They did.
I seen a quote the other day.
That's
Good teams win,
humiliating.
great teams cover.
Yeah.
That's humiliating.
Chris?
Yeah.
Polyglot. Can you please explain to Pat what that word means? You can't come out here with $10 words and
Okay.
Pat's 7-Eleven, mind over there.
Listen, I am a reader. As a kid, I devoured everything I could read. I read everything. So there are a lot of words that are in my mind, in my vocabulary, that may or may not actually be connected to the right things.
No, you were on it.
But
You
if
were
I'm
on it.
right, I believe that someone who has a natural affinity towards language learning is a polyglot. Someone who can pick up other dialects, other languages. That's called a polyglot.
Yeah, I do.
Speaks multiple languages.
Great.
But
Hey, before we started
Lingual.
recording, you guys, I nailed another one, and you're not going to get to hear it unless you hear it now. We were asking, where did the word podcast come from? Actually, Jen was curious because she's not been on a podcast before. And I knew that, like, the cast part, that's about broadcast. Like, it used to be you'd be on, like, broadcast radio.
Yep.
Right? You were either broadcast or you weren't. Well, then this new thing came along, and it happened to come along at the same time as the iPod from Apple. And so that's where the name came from. It was a convenient sort of mashup
it's
of this new
probably an
technology,
app on
the
the
iPod.
pod.
I think it was eventually, but
one of
but
those
you had to come
boxes,
up with the name
Yeah,
first.
right.
You know what I mean? The name podcast had to sort of come to fruition. So I think that's where they got it, though.
is.
And Dom confirmed it.
Yes.
I was right. Just
You
Also-
are a knower of things.
no,
Yeah,
just
no
to break your
bachelor's
arm
there,
there.
buddy.
Knocking them out the park.
And I've got to say this, Jen, I looked up your first album from the Mamas and the Papas, If You Can Believe Your Eyes and Ears.
Right.
It blows our first albums all out of the water. The three top singles from that were California Dreamin', Monday,
Oh my gosh.
and Go Where You Want to Go. I mean, those songs have been covered by so many other. No one covers Please Hammer Don't Hurt 'Em.
But what about some Shania
You got
Twain?
to pray. That's the other Hammer song I know.
Yeah.
Can't touch this.
Nope. She blew us out of the water, guys.
Wow.
All
Cool.
right.
Well, listen, because that's when talent, you had to, you just had to have talent back then.
Not auto-tune.
Not auto-tune.
Or lights and filters.
Drum machines and stuff. So, all right. Anything else, buddy?
That's it.
Oh my gosh, what a show!
That was fun.
Pat. That was a good show, buddy.
was.
For What's Up Big Rapids, we are your hosts. I'm Chris Jen.
And I'm Pat Brooks.
And just remember, kids, kindness is contagious. Go out there and be the example you want to be. Shine your little light. We're all watching. We're all rooting for you. Dominic, hit it.
See you next week.